Peace. It's your boy, Sincere Seven, coming to you live and direct from the Psychonaut Academy in Detroit, Austin, Texas edition, representing the House of Genesis. So listen, man, I've been busy. I've been traveling all over California, Texas, just doing my thing, serving the medicines, providing things to the community. It's been awesome meeting a lot of dope people. I ain't been going live a lot lately, but a little subject came up and I got a little tired. You feel me? Y'all know what it is. When I get motivated, a subject comes up where responses that drop kind of had me like, hey, wait a minute. So this is the conversation, y'all. We're going to jump right in it, yo. It's always sparked by something that I seen, right? So, of course, I like to catch everybody up on what we're talking about. So there was this post. I always say in a joking way that I feel like I have some type of curse or something that I'll be with a woman and we'll just be like madly in love and just everything will be great. And then they'll have my children, and then after that, they become different, and they be like, "What the fuck? Like, what the fuck happened to you?" Right? You know what I'm saying? And so there was this post that I scrolled across, and I read it, and it was very interesting because of this thought process that I have had. I always say, "Yo, what is going on?" Right? So listen to this. This woman said, having a baby will quickly make you realize that you don't love a man, and you've actually never loved a man ever in your life. You feel that love between you and your baby in the hospital bed, and you're like, damn, my bad. Actually, I've never been in love before. That's the real tea on why so many couples break up after the baby comes. Those was all her words, right? So I shared it and people started responding, okay? Now, one of the ones that caught me the most, well, okay, one of them said, no, I just love my baby way more than anybody in the world. I still love the daddy, but I love my baby in an entirely different way. The kind of love you only feel after holding your baby for the first time. Okay, so there was another, okay, here we go. Now, listen to this. And I don't know if she was joking or this, but this is what another individual said. Maybe she did that. Although I don't see how loving your baby more means you suddenly don't love your man. But in general, the reason why the divorce or separation rate after a baby is born is so high is because, listen to this, some men can't handle taking care of others. And I'm not talking about baby, I'm talking about mama. That baby comes and now mom is tired, not fucking as much, not catering to her man as much, mood swings from the lack of sleep, constantly taking care of baby. Men who act like babies can't handle it. They become distant, moody, and sometimes even start staying out more, cheating, etc. Some couples make it out the other side with a lot of forgiveness and turning a blind eye from mama. Some not. Let's all take a breath. Let's remember, nobody was harmed in the forming of these opinions, and nobody will be harmed for having them. So with that being said, I would like to respectfully disagree with my friend who said all of that. And I seen a lot of pointing out that there are changes in the woman. The woman's not, just from your words, not fucking, moody, tired, all of these different things that goes on. And then you said, and men who act like babies and can't handle the shit. And then they start doing this, that, and the other. So what I'm seeing is that the things that the women do are acceptable in your eyes. It's acceptable. Duh, I'm pregnant. I'm not going to be fucking. I'm going to be moody. I'm going to da-da-da-da-da. So duh, I'm gonna go through this. But then when it comes to the man and how he responds to those things that you are doing, whatever he does is fucked up because he's childish. He's a baby and he can't take it. What you mean he can't take it? What take what? Take the shit that you all do, that you all say, the changes that you go through. Let's talk about it. Quite often I have this conversation and sit at the table with poly men, and these conversations is different. First and foremost, as a poly man, a lot of the things that I hear and see, I bear witness to, but the way that they are projected and why, I don't. So, as a man, when my women were pregnant, I'll use one at a time. One of them became very sick, throwing up a lot, very uncomfortable, wanting to do nothing but rest. The sense of smell was off the chain. And now, not to go too deep, but I'll say this, that there were things that were made, that were shared, that, oh, I like certain things that other people might not. Once this individual was pregnant, that individual did not like those things that they liked before. But they had presented this to their mate, that they like this. And so when these things take place, their response to them was very like, oh, over the top. And now this individual is feeling like, yo, what the, you're the one who told me to, what the, like, okay. So there's a lot of, you're right, there is a lot of things that the women go through. But for me, I said, okay, let me be here to take care of you. Let me be here to provide, make you comfortable, make you this, that, and the other. And then, yes, I would leave. I would stay away. And I didn't have to go cheat because I had other women. And I was a lot more active with my other women while my woman who was pregnant was uncomfortable with all of those things. So in a lot of monogamous relationships, these women are going through, and let me just pause and say something. Especially if this woman is pregnant with a boy. This is not spoken of enough. When it comes to women and childbirth and carrying children and the changes that their bodies go through, the hormones, all of these different things. See, I'm very aware of, I have 7 children. I'm very aware, and more that weren't mine, but of the changes, the mood changes, the temperature changes, the body changes, the hormone changes, all of these fluctuations taking place, making this woman uncomfortable at times, making things overwhelming, all of that, right? When she's pregnant with a boy, that child has a Y chromosome. This is a chromosome that has not been present in this woman up until this point. She is now having her system having to alter to suffice to supply a Y chromosome body inside of her body. So a lot of hormonal changes are things that she's never even felt before because of the presence of a chromosome in her body that has never been present before in action in her body. Okay, so there's a difference in the women when they're pregnant with boys and with girls, right? Okay, so I'm saying all that to say that what happens to that woman, she becomes different people. She goes through a lot of changes and a lot. So that man is going to come into a lot of uncomfortability. He's going to come into a lot of not feeling safe. He's going to come into a lot of feeling of being unwanted. Now, any woman who wants to act like that shit is, how can I say, so what? He just need to take it. She doesn't deserve the support of a man. Just like if I said the same thing about a woman going through all these changes. So what? She just need to take it, get in there and cook some food. I don't want to hear that shit. You don't deserve the respect. And I feel the same way to a woman who thinks that whatever you all are going through physiologically, we're just supposed to accept it and just carry on as if all things are normal and our feelings don't matter. A lot of the reason that a lot of couples don't make it is because a lot of women become selfish at this time and they think it's all about me and the baby. No, no. And that's what it becomes, you and the baby. It's not. There was a unity. If you want to keep a unity, you have to keep a unity in mind. So it's not just, oh, this is what I'm going through, and he's just on some punk shit. He just need to take it. He just, no. And this is where a lot of men go and find that comfort. They find that safety. They find that in another woman. Yeah. Now, of course, under a monogamous relationship, this might be unacceptable. So how do you balance that? You balance that with you balancing the care and the safety and the love for that man. If you're saying, I want to be the only one in your life and you're going to be the only one in mine, then you have to be willing to pick up what is your responsibility. It's your ability to respond to it. When you know that this man is feeling like, damn, it's all about the women and the babies, because that's how a lot of the community operates. That's how a lot of the community operates. How is she doing? How's the baby? How is she doing? How's the baby? Is he taking care of you? Well, thank you. Right? I thought that's what all of you all were here for. Who's taking care of me? Right? Because as a man, I'm going to make sure that woman's provided for. Y'all are really around for the baby. Y'all around for the nuance. Y'all around for the baby. Let's be very clear. The majority of them. There are some real good sister friends that stay around for those women, but a lot of times they're around for the baby, right? But when you have that support system within for that woman, yo, that man needs that same thing. That's how they stay in support. So I had that within my relationships. I never allowed myself to be excluded. I'm paying for all of this shit. I'm paying for the midwife. I'm paying for the doula. I'm paying for the home birth. I'm paying for the pools and all that. No, we're not finna exclude me. Who not coming to the baby shower? I'll be right there. I'll be right there, right? This ain't just about mama and baby. This is a unit. This is a family. And we as a culture need to get back to that. We need to get back to that. See? So if we can keep that understanding within those relationships, a lot of y'all can get through that. But y'all don't keep that in mind. And then you act like whatever that man did, you act like you being pregnant was he did all this when I was pregnant. Can you believe it? While I was pregnant and having his baby, he was what? No, while you was acting like a lunatic, telling him get the fuck away from you, don't touch you, this is your fault, blase split. He's starting to think you mean these things. He's starting to feel like he's losing. And he wants the same, he's got the same thing coming. I have to provide for a child now. I have to take care of a woman and a child. She's going to have to take off of work or off of this. And I'm going to have to do this. And I'm going to have to do that. And if all of this falls, they're going to look at me like I'm a failure. Nobody says, oh, what the fuck was wrong with that woman? Look, she ended up homeless. What's wrong with her? No, what the fuck? Where was her motherfucking baby daddy at? Where the fuck was he at? Right? So he has, pressures on him as well. And when you have this ideology of, oh, him, he ain't, us and the baby, them and the baby, her and the baby, and he acting like her and the baby, and he won't do her and the baby. You all are creating the separation, and that's what he's feeling. That's what's going on. That's what's happening. So let's stop with this, oh, I'm a victim, and this man is doing this while I'm pregnant. No, how are you treating him? Did he run off into the arms of another woman, or did you push him? And I don't give a damn how many of y'all get mad and start to, remember, I'm poly, so I don't go through that shit. No, you start acting crazy. All right, babe, you need anything? You got what you want to eat? You need anything else? All right, babe, I'm going. I'm about to go over here with my baby. I'm about to give me some joy. I'm about to go over here with my baby. I'm about to go over here with sin. What's up? What? I ain't, nah, what? You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna give you that because I understand what you're going through. But don't act like we're supposed to sit there and take abuse because your body going through a lot of changes. We need a support system. We need comfort. We need somebody to hear us. We need somebody to hear us talk about, yo, man, I don't even know how to put together a crib. Where my brothers who, you know what I'm saying? Can I share this? I've been like, these women wonder why their relationships are the way they are. I don't badmouth my mate. My mates don't badmouth me, not even during pregnancy. And when they did, I got the fuck on. I went on back to my other house. I went back to my other woman, right? Because I don't want that. Just like y'all don't want that. And y'all got to keep those types of things in mind. It's not all you and the baby. If you really want a support system, it's you, that man, and the baby. And those, that ain't got nothing to do with him being weak or being a baby or him can't take it, nothing. Just the way you said that. Oh, they can't take it. What they supposed to take? Are they supposed to take it? Because what are you supposed to take? If that's the case, because that doesn't sound very free. That doesn't sound very supportive. I can't think of nothing. I'm telling my mom, you just need to take it about anything. So just saying that in a response to somebody's emotional, somebody's sense of safety, somebody's sense of belonging. I'm going to treat you like shit. I'm going to talk to you like shit. And you just need to take it. And if you do anything outside of that to make yourself feel safe, now you ain't shit. You going to do that shit while I was pregnant. And if you don't shut that shit up, couldn't be me. It won't never be. I don't do that. I don't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, no. I made that like that. And if y'all, some of y'all really who've been following me for a long time, if you think back to even the previous relationships, wait, what? While pregnant? Mm-mm. No. And that was taken as that's taken as a like, oh, you, and it's like a what's that, a sympathy thing? Like I'm a victim. No. It's not a victim thing. Everybody has to be accountable for their own safety. Everybody has to be accountable for their own happiness, their own comfort. And if you're not offering it to me, right? And what did I'm gonna tell you, I heard the women in the circle of women that I've been with, I've heard this repeatedly and I've adopted it for myself. Girl, you got to do what's right for you. You got to do what's best for you. I used to be sitting around like, why would they say that? This person has a whole family. This is a whole family unit, and you're telling them do what's best. I've adopted it. I better do what's best for me. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, is it not? See, I'm one of them individuals. We have real challenging conversations. Yeah, this is not just for play. This is real conversations. A lot of y'all are kind of maybe shocked about what I'm saying, but no, because I'd be shocked at what some individuals will take as a relationship, what some individuals will take in the name of love, what some individuals will take in the name of support. Like, that's not love. That's not support. That's ownership. That's ownership. And even me as a poly man, I don't support ownership. No, if my women tell me they're mine, they're telling me that they're my responsibility. Not they own me. We don't need a safe word because I don't own you. You know what I'm saying? So that ideology of just flipping that and just thinking that because this is my man, this is my mate, this is my husband. When I get pregnant, I could treat him however I want. I could say what I want. I could do what I want. And he's not supposed to respond emotionally, in action, in life. No, we have to do better. Is that really how you feel? Is that really what you think? Because if it is, then we know why there's so many separations after. Because a man who is giving his all and getting nothing back, no consideration, no support, no love, no sense of safety, is going to get the fuck on and go give that to somebody else. And it might be even while I was pregnant. Yes, ma'am. Even while you pregnant. Because at that state, that is a sensitive state for all of us. We all need to be supported. We all need to be loved. We all need to be thought about. And in a lot of circles, I see that shit not happening. When it's time to pay up, that's when the man is included. That's why for me, I wouldn't even allow that energy in my circumference. Any like, I had, shout out to Spirit Traveler, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Spirit Traveler. She birthed a couple of my babies. But so it was comfortable for me for the most part. But when there was other individuals who didn't know me and they would come in and start conversations with the woman as if I wasn't there, I would shut it down. Like, no, hold on. Why are you talking to her like I'm not in the room? Like, if you ain't fit to talk to both of us, we're gonna find a different individual because you're already starting to inject that sense and state of separation of man, woman, and child. And this sense and state of separation is practiced through all cultures, through all practices, through I see it repeatedly. Not in my house. We don't separate man, women, and child, especially at a state of creation. There was no separation from man and woman when we were creating that child. Ain't gonna be no separation from man and woman while we are going through this state. You know what I'm saying? And even into the third trimester, as y'all call it. Because that mental health for women after the children are born, the sense of breastfeeding in the womb going back to its state, the sense of finishing breastfeeding and your body going back to its full state. All of these cause all types of different hormonal changes, which cause all kind of different actions in the woman. And she expects the man to just respond automatically. You went from I stink, get away from me, don't touch me, to having the baby, to I want to be comforted, to breastfeeding, to I am horny all of the time, to not breastfeeding, to whatever you're, and it's like, and I'm supposed to just respond with like the eat. No, we need, this all needs integration. All of this needs integration, and people are not integrating pregnancy with the man, woman, and child. That's why these relationships are failing afterwards, because there's not integration from the man, the woman, and the child. Everybody's going through changes, going through processes, and expecting everybody else to just respond to them accordingly, as if there's a computer program that comes with your update. There is not. And it can cause a lot of confusion. It can cause a lot of misconceptions. It can cause a lot of people to feel like they're not cared for when they are. They're not loved when they are. They're not seen when they are. Their sense of safety is at risk. And now they're looking for a new sense of safety. And a lot of this can be alleviated with this integration, with these conversations with each other, not against each other. The things that I see in responses is like, oh, is this how people think? Self is measuring stick of the world. So when I see people respond and say things like, oh, men, blah, 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 in my mind, I go, oh, is that the type of men that you deal with? Right? And I invite people to think about the repeated cycles that you might find yourself in that's causing you to have a negative outlook on any other people. I don't have a negative outlook on white people. I don't have a negative outlook on the government. I don't have a negative outlook on women. I don't have a negative outlook on any religion. I am very aware that any of these groups of individuals can have individuals in it who can have some very unbecoming characteristics. My idea as a wise man is to discern between those and pick the ones that I want for myself. So to act like, oh, this group of people do this, that, and the other, that's saying that I literally go into those group of people and find these unbecoming characters. I don't do that. I have absolutely awesome encounters with white people, with women, with gays, with Christians, with Muslims, with Indonesian. Like, I have not met a group of people that I'm like, oh, I'm not fucking with them. Oh my goodness, I'm ignorant. But anyway, so I just invite us to take a little bit of time to take such a crucial moment, such as pregnancy, and the male female mother father child relationships that are contained within them, and take a look and make sure that we are approaching these right, because the conversations and the comments that I see coming out, and it's like, oh, okay, no wonder I see why, like, right. But at the same time, self is the measuring stick of the world. I create a different environment than what I'm seeing spoken about. And so I invite people to try things differently. Don't do that. Don't get with those type of people. Don't, right? I don't complain about relationships that I've been in or women because of things that I've experienced in relationships. I look at them and I go, okay, I see where I allowed myself to deal with an individual who has a capacity to do this because of this, or allow myself to be whatever, right? It's like, no, these are all choices. And when we don't see it that way and we start using a lot of, oh, they, them, they the ones who, and they feel like, we're saying that we lack accountability for our own choices, our own thought processes, and how we ourselves conduct ourselves within experiences. I don't have those experiences. None of my experiences were the things that I was hearing about. Because again, as a poly man, there was an understanding already. So when these things came up, they were just able to be seen. When I left and went to another of my women's home that I provided them with, it's not looking like, oh, he's cheating on me when I'm pregnant. It's like, oh man, I have been acting really out of pocket. These emotions and these hormones really have me acting out of pocket. And okay, when he comes back, we gonna have a conversation. They used to take accountability, so they didn't feel like, oh, he's leaving me when I'm pregnant. They felt like, oh, I'm seeing how this pregnancy is really affecting me and how it's affecting our relationship. Mm. But they knew their relationship was not threatened. They knew that within our relationship, I have that ability to go and get that off my chest. I'm over there talking to my other woman about how the woman that's pregnant by me, damn man, she was tripping, man. She cussed me out and told me she fucking hate me and all of this and that. And then she like, yeah, I remember when I was saying that shit to you when I was pregnant. I know, right? That's why I'm like, let me just give her a minute. Let me just, as opposed to going and doing and finding and all of that, I already had. But let's be clear, the things that I was being put through did cause emotional changes with me. They did cause me to lean into my other women a little bit more, to be a little bit more of, okay, I needing this love and this support, and I'm needing this encouragement because she is fucking just coming down on me right now. Gotta understand what's really going on. But if he's looking like this, the only woman I got, which most individuals, monogamous relationships, is like, and you're feeling that you need a support system. This is where her mother and her sisters and people like that are supposed to be supporting you. See, the relationships between your brothers, your friends, her brother even, but there should be individuals who are sitting with you, kicking it with you and supporting you in your mental health, because you're going through a lot of changes too. A lot of individuals are not aware of that. Again, oh, mom and the baby, mom and the baby, mom and the baby, and they push that man right out the circle. We got to bring him right back in. And we need to be able to communicate these things effectively with each other. You can't just be off telling somebody, man, she acting like a bitch and she over here, oh, I can't stand him right now. Because again, that's still separation. This is just the venting process. Then they need to be brought back together and they need to be allowed to go through these conversations in a soft, delicate way, right? Drink some cacao, no cinnamon. No cinnamon for the pregnant woman, not there, and keep it light on that. But do some cacao. Have a nice, light, open-hearted conversation and share when that woman is in that space. So that's all it is, y'all. But that's really what it is. So I do get it. Like as a poly man, this is a conversation that's come up quite a bit because I've been helped to counsel individuals who have went through, a lot of different things while the woman was pregnant. A lot of infidelity. You're right, ladies. There is a lot of infidelity while women are pregnant. That man is needing that support, that love, that constant, everything that you was giving him that he's not getting now. You know what I'm saying? So some of y'all might require that he hold off in them 9 months, or when you feel like it or whatever. But just saying that is and can become an issue, and it's usually around those issues, not him trying to find some new. It's really like a lot of times that's where other bonds and relationships are started, and that's why, like, especially if you was his best friend, y'all gotta keep that in mind. Like, he meant that shit, and now he feel like that's not there. He doesn't understand those changes that you going through like you do. He's just seeing you as acting out, and like he really thinks that his future with you is threatened, because most relationships that you see are around that time of bringing forth children. I've seen this so many times. The infidelity, the hatred, the anger, all of this is like people are not aware of what they're going through and they don't know how to integrate it. So if you having a challenge with that, you want to speak more about that, please hit me up, y'all. Hit me up, because I'm very aware of this, very educated in this, have counseled quite a bit of people in the realms of this, and in the midst of this, like we're talking live in the midst of while it's happening. um you can get through it. You can get through it. You just have to work at it like everything else. You have to be aware. You have to be aware, and you have to address. You can't leave things, because some people are not confrontational. They're not going to bring it and say it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very confrontational individual. I don't mind speaking out about how I feel, or different things like that. And a lot of times that's what keeps people away from me, because I will say things that might be uncouth, you know, or not politically correct. But I feel that if I just share openly and honestly, the people who don't mind open and honest sharing will have an understanding of what I'm really feeling, and then we can move through those together to a, what I'm saying, comfortable place. And that's what we need to get more into, is having these challenging conversations to bring us to better places. So with that being said, as always, tell somebody you love them in the language they can understand it in. Peace.